It's Tanya from Lyric Lounge, and I'm at the Old Coal Store in Nottingham with Tony, Wright, and Millie, and we're going to talk a little bit about what they've been up to and what's in the pipeline. So, you've obviously been doing lots already this year as we come up to festival season.
Yeah, not lots and lots. It's only March, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it ain't March.
No, it's
No, it's May. It's May.
It's the 5th month
You've
of
lost
the
2
year.
months.
I
What were
shall
you
know,
doing
It's
in
your
May?
birthday month, so how do you not know?
We're going to lose a month when my birthday is. Yeah, it happens though, doesn't it?
We've been out over the last few weeks, haven't we? We've been sort of
Yeah,
for the last
well.
few weeks.
We went out with Ricky Warwick for a bit as well, which were good. You remember the Almighty?
Yeah.
And then he was in Black Star Riders, one of the things he band. We were out with him, he's great. And then off the back of that, we're doing these. We've got like a week's worth of stuff, haven't we?
Yeah.
And then we're going to do some recording. That's the plan.
Do you get to see much of the, when you're out with other bands? 'Cause I was talking to somebody about this last night. Do you actually get to see the other bands, or are you mainly just having to go, do your stuff and then leave?
No.
Do you get a chance to?
It depends.
And if so, what have you seen that you thought, oh, that's good, I like that?
We saw, there were a couple of bands yesterday actually, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I don't want to say the names because I can't remember the names.
You can't, you called something in the moth.
No, that was Marist in the Moss.
And then the other band, I can't remember what they were called, but they were really, really good.
Square Wild, are they?
Square Wild, yeah, like a prog band. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were
They
really
were
good.
good.
Yeah, they're good to dance to, actually, aren't they?
And then we saw a band the other year called, what were they called? So it was an all-girl, well, the drummer was a bloke. Do you remember? That festival, something to do with daisies.
No, you're thinking about.
And she ended up joining like some Blink
No.
182
No.
or something.
Oh God, no!
Hang on, this is my Millie will tell you now what actually happened.
I think it's the girl that's joined.
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
And we saw her in band before, and they were great.
Yeah.
Proper rock and roll, like instruments, you know what I mean? Just and loud instruments. It were well good.
Yeah.
Very good. And then she left. It was only Linkin Park.
Who were also good, so.
Not as good as them though. I bet they pull a few more people, or more people know their songs at the festivals. That's how it rolls.
Do you find that yourself? Like, obviously, because you tour with Terrorvision as well, do you sometimes find that you tailoring stuff to a particular crowd, or do you just do whatever you like?
Sometimes you play the songs that you think, like, you look at the charts, how they charted really, and so they'd be classed as what people call hits, and you play your greatest hits.
Yeah.
So the people who weren't into television, but would have obviously heard some of the tunes here and there when you're on TV and all that kind of stuff, they'll go, oh right, is this them, kind of thing. And then the challenge is, yeah, and this is us as well. And while you were listening to that, you should have been listening to this.
Yeah.
Because it's a festival, isn't it? You're going on after Madness and before Hawkwind. It's not. You know what I mean? It's not.
And you're distracted by whatever Hawkwind happened to be doing, because that's always.
Well, there's that. We went on after Jethro Tull once. Have you ever gone on after Jethro Tull?
I haven't, no.
Their songs just never end. But they all.
It was still playing when we went on.
The whole song is a massive ending. That when it gets to the end of that bit, you think that they're finished. And like a dun dun.
You're psyching yourself up to go on stage, and then you get
yeah. So nearly put my neck out.
I've sometimes found that when reviewing, where I've thought I don't know this song, and then about 5 minutes later I'm like, is it just the same song, but the guitarist has taken over and it's just playing it over and over again. Oh,
When
yeah,
you go
it is.
off on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't do that, can we?
I tried doing it Jazz Odyssey album, I didn't quite pull
Yeah,
off.
more odd than Odyssey, wasn't it?
What would you describe your solo stuff as then? If you were going to talk to somebody who hadn't listened to those albums, what would you say? It's very personal, actually, a lot of the writing, isn't it?
Well, it is, isn't it? That's what that's what songs should be. But I think it's just old school singer-songwriter songs, old school that you can play on an acoustic guitar. And when you listen to an album like the Anti-album and it's stripped bare, I'd like people who like heavy metal to listen to it and go, you know, you could do a proper metal version of that track.
Yeah.
I'd like people who are into funk to go, do you know what, you could really funk that up, or soul, you could really sing your head off to that. Because the albums that we do are just, they're almost like baby songs, but they're not. We have baby songs, then we work them up into being like awkward teenagers, and then eventually they leave home in the form of an album and go do whatever they're going to do. And then we have to raise another set of songs, you know what I mean? But it's, that's what it is. It's, I suppose it's just storytelling and to music.
And it nods back to the fact that when you, if you like solo, like Tony is, it's not a duet, but it's his name, whatever it is, but it's the fact that you can sit and you write a song with acoustic guitar, so that's how we've done them, haven't we?
Yeah.
So you sit and write them, and whether they evolve or not. But the other thing is we like to got this folk club, don't we, not like?
Yeah.
And that, even though they're not folk songs, we are heavily influenced by that particular evening that
we live normal lives as well. We're not isolated. Like with Terrorvision, like heyday, I spent a lot of time with about 16 people, the same 16 people.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw a lot of hotels. I saw a lot of time on a bus with 5 remote controls that over months no one could work out how to. You know what I mean? I saw a lot of dressing rooms. I did see some parts of cities and Florence and Rome, but I didn't see like I could go out and it was just work. And
it can be quite destructive.
it's not so much as destructive, but you get to a point where you haven't lived a life that you can write a song about because no one's going to know what you mean.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, what do? Do you brag about what you've got? Do you know what I mean? Or do you brag about, oh, look at me? Do you know what I mean? Or do you have to actually go back to reality where people live and talk to people and work and understand, so that you can be in those situations that themselves write the songs that we hear, catch and then put down on tape or.
And there's a lot of that in the Anti-album. There's a lot of lyrics that I think speak directly to ordinary people because we've experienced those things.
Yeah.
And there's that sense of, some of it, there is a sense of sort of melancholy, but also that idea of this is what life is. It's not this beautiful, brilliant thing that you think it's going to be when you're a kid.
No.
It's
bog
there's beauty,
standard.
but there's also
It's nothing to write home about. It's bog standard. It's going to school, getting a job, meeting the girl and buying an house. It's really, really everyday things. But the story side is then you weave that into it to build up the story of a person or a situation. And that's the pleasure of playing with all that experience. And sometimes I have a little coffee shop and I get people to sit on my counter, and there'll be a lot of elderly like people will sit there, and you see them and they've got a stick or a limp or a stoop, or you know they're old, and then they tell you about being at the Beatles or like seeing James Brown, and it's like no way. So you listen and you just hear stories, and stories, some of them are just ace. And some of them are songs that just haven't been written yet, and that's what the Anti-album is. Oh, he's saying
oh, it is indeed.
He's saying it, so.
So you are a storyteller in your songs, but also, I've got to admit, whenever we come and watch you, the stories between the songs are equally fabulous.
In fairness, it's just like selling you the song twice, really.
Yeah. But I wondered, do you sort of think beforehand, oh, I'm going to talk about this, or is it just something that comes naturally because you're engaging with the audience and you kind of feel what they're...
You know, I live a real life, and I do like stories that make life a bit more interesting, and that's it. And I don't like fantasy stuff and space stuff, so I'm not going to go off to different galaxies or, you know, ride on